4910.
29213, 18th Avenue South.
Someone that's really injured.
Had a verbal dispute with their neighbor.
Bleeding, there's blood all over and...
I'm a messenger, that's it. I'm not an angel. The word angel means messenger. But I'm a human person, and I just have this message, and you can believe in it if you want. You don't have to. I don't really care.
When I found out that my dad was in the mix of doing like exorcisms and everything, things would happen like in the house with me and my family, and I wasn't really sure, like, I was scared, but I didn't know really what I was scared about.
I should have told you this right up front. You've become involved in exposing the devil because of this film here.
As he got more into the work, more things started happening to, me and my family and my house, and it was scary.
She had a really, really profound experience. She was at home.
We had a picture frame on my parents' bedroom wall, and out of nowhere, I just flew across the room.
You've singled yourself out now. Who do you think Lucifer's gonna be looking at when you stood up and gave him the finger? Well, that's basically what you do when you expose the devil. You're standing up and you're going, yo! There's only one way to really combat that. And you already know what that is. And that's strictly up to you. Being a cop, I was involved in all kinds of negativity constantly, and being a demonologist is being, up to your eyeballs in negativity. There's nothing nice about it. Different kind of perpetrator, but a perpetrator nonetheless.
Officer Sarchie carries an exorcism kit containing holy water, special incense, and salt. For the demonic investigator, the devil is in the details. A special prayer from Pope Leo XIII, scapula and holy medals to drive away the diabolic spirits.
I don't like this case. There's two reasons why I don't like this case. One, this is a blood relative curse. And two, it's steeped in what I believe Santeria. And found out dealing with a lot of Afro-Caribbean and Latin American-based sorcery. I refer to them as soul killers. When I'm doing this ritual, do not stop me from doing it, all right? I'm gonna toss you right out if you do that. Just letting you know. I have to say, with my personality, I'm not easy to get along with. I'm aggressive, I get nasty sometimes, people say to me, how could you be so religious and you're such a nasty guy? And my response is, well, just think of how bad I would be if I wasn't religious. Now get out of my face and go take care of your own problems and don't look at mine. Being a street cop in the early 80s through the 90s was, I have to say, it was an experience, and it shaped a lot of the way I am.
Having a dad as a police officer was scary because it's not really a safe job. It's very dangerous, and you never know what could happen.
When I'm working as a cop, I'm dealing primarily with secondary evil. I'm out here hunting for the bad guys. And then when I'm doing the work, I'm actually fighting evil at the source. The evil isn't trying to steal your property, it's trying to steal your very essence, your soul. Does that explain it good enough for you?
Yeah, I think so.
Here's another rookie cop, another rookie. You always threatening to beat my ass in that garage every day.
Yeah, that was the day you screamed at me that I was in the hospital with the cop and you told me I don't give a fuck what you're doing, get your ass into work right now. You don't remember that day?
No.
See? He's a sick fucking bastard. He was a good sergeant. He knew what he was doing. Ralph was hard, but he was hard for a reason, I feel. And that was to make sure you're always in line and we have a lot of responsibility. So if you don't know what you're talking about or you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna get yourself in trouble.
I always had a sense of God being real. But you know, as being a kid, I would definitely say that my faith did wane through my own fault, actually. But
when he was 10 months old, Ralph got very, very sick. They said, it's up to God now. There isn't anything more he could do for him. I had to wait 24 hours for this child to pull through. And he did, of course. There he is to tell the story. God left him here for some reason, to do something. Very protective boy he was.
so, you know, there is a certain amount of activity, a demonic activity that is now going to take place in my own home. My daughters had to deal with that stuff, and I felt, even my mother and my sister dealt with it from time to time.
I never talk about it. Sorry.
Hey, where are you? You're home. Okay, great. We're up the block. We're gonna do a little something, and then I'm gonna call you when we're on our way over. Years ago, I used to have like 2-3 cars filled with investigators. Now I'm just down to 2 guys, me and Mark. Any kind of church doctrine or canon law, whatever, I ask Mark. He has the answer.
So Ralph had his feet in both worlds, both in law enforcement and in the demonic. And again, it's essentially the same mission. You're out there helping people. I mean, people who are under some kind of attack.
God put us together, and you know, now we're working cases. So he's a good guy. He's a good investigator. We're dealing with a curse from a family member, a bloodline curse. A family member who lives right across the street. I want to go back to the other time you heard the screeching. How long ago was it?
Last month.
Last month.
My son was up before me.
Oh,
I
so
jumped up and I slammed my door. I locked it and I was up for, I think, 3 or 4 hours. I never get a full sleep.
I'm afraid that something is gonna happen. You don't really sleep here. Everybody's scared here.
When I go into a case and I investigate a case, I have to make it clear that I'm not a ghost hunter. I'm not a paranormal investigator. I'm a demonologist. I'm a religious demonologist. I approach this from a religious point of view. I'm not looking to entertain you. I'm looking to help you. And that is that the room here or upstairs?
No,
upstairs. You heard that scream from that room?
Exact scream.
We would go to a home. We would do, like I said, the initial investigation, and we would attempt to alleviate the problem ourselves. Meaning we would do an exorcism in the house. It's the Pope Leo XIII prayer. The holy water is actually exorcised, and blessed salt is put into it. This happens to be what I would consider the equivalent of a gun in the spirit world, the gun that a cop would carry. Bullets don't hurt the demonic, they're spirit, they're not physical, but that does. My heart started to race, it was palpitating, and I got this pain right here in my temple, and I get that when I'm in the presence of evil. We beg God, send his angels to block all psychic powers sent against us. While we were down there, we realized now that we had a possession taking place. Go where the Lord sends you, harming no one along the way. In the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, you're commanded to leave. How do you guys feel, okay?
Something happened. And
What?
Well,
I
2
heard a
of them.
scream upstairs, and your friend over here heard a whole bunch of scratching.
You heard the scratching?
For Jesus' sake, so you think the family across the street is aware that you're here?
They're gonna be aware tonight. Whether they know it or not. Sure. Be safe, man. This demon will come back with 7 more powerful to find the house all tidied up, swept and tidy. That's what exorcism does. It sweeps everything up. It gets all the uncleanliness out. You're now supposed to fill it with the holy and the light. And if you don't do that, something more powerful is going to come back. It's going to fill that void. Joe and I drove up, going to the house. Bishop McKenna was already there with Larry. And we just put the chair down in the living room and had to sit in it. We had all of the restraints. This particular person was about 90 pounds. The battle went on for quite some time. This was a tough one. This is what we considered a genuine case of possession. It got a little violent where I started to put the restraints on her after the exorcism had started.
Answer my questions.
It's always a learning process. As the more powerful demons come, you know, you got to learn new things. That's when I started to realize that this stuff is not just a creature feature or a thriller theater, that this is actually real. You know, they say that the eyes are the window of the soul, and I believe that to a degree, because I've seen people during exorcisms where the demon is actually present now. All traces of humanity are gone from those eyes. I've gotten glared at by murderers, people that actually hate me because of what I represent. Maybe it's because I'm a cop and I have a badge on my chest, or maybe it's just because they don't like people in general. And that look is nothing compared to what I've seen during exorcisms, the murderous looks. These demons, they're not looking at me as a physical body, they're looking at me as a soul. And they want that soul, and they want to torment that soul. Does not matter if you believe or not. You don't have to believe in God. You don't have to believe in the devil. It doesn't withdraw you from this battle. You're involved in it. You were born into this world. No, you probably didn't ask to be born, but you're here. You need to make a choice. You need to pick a side. For Deliver Us from Evil, there are elements of my life in it. Maybe in different context, but there are messages inside this movie. It should be enjoyed, but you're gonna be scared too. If one or two people that see it really get it and say, wow, you know, I never looked at it like that, and I believe what this guy is saying, and I believe in his beliefs, in his faith, what his faith says, you know, then you've now become an active participant in that person now going back to God. The devil hates that shit.